Cats. What's up, Doc? It's Dr. Christian Jessen. From Friday Night Dinner, it's Tom Rosenthal. And their team captain, John Richardson. And facing them tonight, Northern Soul, it's Sarah Millican. Wakey Wakey, it's Lorraine Kelly. And their team captain, John Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy
Welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 25% of men think their eyes are their best feature? Let me think. Buns, guns, pecs, nads, little Jimmy Johnson, eyes. Sixth best. The world's oldest goldfish was 42. He put his long life down to regular early morning swims. And the average life expectancy in the UK is 80 years. Does not include Scotland. Terms and conditions apply. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. Tonight it's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 3 most important moments in life. Sean Steen, what do you think's up there?
What do you think? Loose women.
Is it falling in love?
Well, yeah.
Go on, when did you first fall in love?
Maybe 21. You see, I thought there was the one, because I'd read too many, that kind of books and seen that kind of film where there's just one and that's it, and it's rubbish. If you're, watching at home and people in the audience, there's 5. There's not one.
I've seen a lot of those films and read a lot of those books.
One for every decade. You have one for... So I've done my 20s, I've got a nice one in my 30s, and then he'll have to go soon, because I'm 36. He's lovely, it's a shame. 40s, 50s, 60s, and then after that you just have, no strings attached sex with whoever's in the same home.
You're such a romantic, aren't you?
I am.
And Lorraine, when did you first fall in love?
Oh, probably about 16.
16?
Yeah, Brian Kennedy. I can't tell you any more than that, but it was lovely. It was
Why can't you tell us any more?
Because
Is he dead?
I don't want to embarrass... No, he's not dead. But I think first love is really important, and you can really not underestimate it, because it's really exciting, and because it's all new and you've never been there before, and
I cannot
it's fabulous. Are you
wait.
remembering it all?
Sean, you never really talk about your softer side and being in love, and I think I speak on behalf of everyone. I'd like to see a bit of the real you.
Yes.
When did you fall in love, Sean?
Well, I always find that the confusing thing about falling in love is the symptoms of falling in love are sort of lightheadedness, giddiness, are very similar to the symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning. I'm not sure whether I'm in love or the flu's blocked. So I don't know if you're the one or we need to change flats. We need to have a word with the landlord.
John, have you ever been in love?
The first 2 people I fell in love with...
2?
Hedge your bets. Different occasions, both ended with their partners telling me to stop phoning their home. The first one was a clown, who I fell in love with when I was about 8. He opened a shopping centre near me, and I was transfixed. This guy could juggle, he could do magic, he had poems.
How old was the clown and how old were you?
Clown must have been in his late 20s, early 30s. I'm maybe 9 or 10. I asked for a picture. He's given me his card. It's only got his phone number on it. He obviously wants me to call. I left a few messages. And one day when I phoned up, his wife picked up, that bitch.
This sounds like an implausible story that the clown told the police. No, he was calling me.
I like the idea of you phoning out and going, what are you wearing? I got the big shoes on.
It wasn't a sexual thing, it was just the love between a child and a clown.
When did you first fall in love with a woman?
In Torquay, on holiday. Took her to see Men in Black. Rained on the way out, give my coat, did the whole thing. Little pity kiss at the end of the week, which I'll be honest, I may have misread. Started phoning. She's not picking up the phone either, little minx. So what I did bought one of those school exercise books, and across every line of every page, I wrote "I love" and then her name. If I made a mistake, tore the page out, and then I posted it to her.
Not creepy. Glad that's not creepy.
Symbol of commitment and grammatical accuracy.
Well, let's have a look and see whether first love is one of the most important moments in life. Most men say that when they fall in love, they can't tell if it's the real thing. I can. I have a special little indicator that sticks up. OK, Johnstein, what's the other most important moment in life?
People do babies, don't they?
You made it sound like litter.
I think the only reason I want to have kids is so I can look at other people's without being accused of being a paedophile. Like when you walk past a... I don't mean in that word.
No, dig yourself out of this. I'd love to see this. He's got a shovel. He's on your marks, John, and dig your way out of that one.
Sometimes you're walking past a playground.
Sure. He's going deeper before he even starts the dig.
Sometimes you're walking past a playground and you just want to be able to watch the abandon of children. It's like watching nature. It's like when you watch the leaves change in autumn. Sometimes you want to watch a kid on a swing and think, oh, I used to be on swings before I had jobs and before people judged me and before I wasn't allowed to be in a park. And then before you know it, you've been there half an hour and someone says, oh, which one's yours? You go, I'll go then, fine. I'm not... It's a nice... And sometimes a baby will look at you.
What you should say is, I haven't chosen yet.
Sometimes they look at you, though. Sometimes you're on a train...
I look at you!
Weirdo, yeah? You're the weirdos for making it weird, weirdos. Sometimes you're on a train and a baby looks at you and smiles, just in a way a baby would, and yet you want, as a woman, if you look over and pull a face, you go, oh, it's the maternal instinct kicking in. She's just communicating with the baby. If I look over and go, you go, can someone get Captain Weirdo off the train, please?
It sort of depends on whether or not you've got your cock in your hand.
Dr. Christian, is there anything that we can do to get John chemically castrated? You haven't got kids?
Absolutely no desire to have children whatsoever. Yeah, you can't... They just linger too long and you can't have a life.
They do linger, don't they?
Yeah.
They go on living is another way to say
They go on.
They linger. Yes. I mean, if they lasted 5 years, it'd be perfect, but no.
I never wanted kids, really. I just wanted one of those big American fridges. You know, the really big ones. Yeah. I thought it'd be ridiculous. I get one of those. It's just me and my partner there, and like a lasagna and a lemon rolling around in it. I thought I'd better have some kids, fill it out with yoghurt.
Well, I didn't think that I was very maternal until I had my baby.
Isn't that a bit late, though?
Yeah.
Really, that's kind of fine, isn't
But then it was fine. You know, honestly, you know...
Yeah, but what if it wasn't? You can't put it back in, can you? You can't, can you? No, you can't.
But see, if you do have every drug under the sun, don't... If somebody comes at you...
Not
with
whilst
heroin,
you're pregnant, I should confirm.
No, but in labour, have everything. You know these folks that lie on bean bags and they have candles? No. No. You want to be numb, as God intended. You want to be numb from the waist down, knowing nothing about it until they give you a beautiful baby.
That's conception or birth.
Well... honestly, don't have everything. Have everything.
I've never heard anything more Scottish than that. Take all the drugs that you can. Seriously, all of them. Get all of them. It's brilliant. It's like you only had the baby for the high.
No, but it is really... Honestly, I recommend it.
It's expensive, though.
No, it's on your NHS.
Well, they've worked out.
No, it doesn't cost you anything. It's on the National Health Service.
No, he's saying having children,
I mean,
not...
raising children.
Not the drugs. I know a guy that can get it for a £5.
Yeah, to raise the child is something that the average through its lifetime is £200,000. Yeah. And that's not factoring in daddy's drinking, daddy's gambling.
It's all worthwhile when they turn 13 and tell you that they hate you and wish you were dead.
But then they'll look after you.
I'll fast-track that.
They'll look after you when you're old.
What?
When you're old, they'll look after you. All the money that you've paid out, they'll have to...
I'm going to use the money I saved to look after me. Although I don't have kids, because tragically my girlfriend and I can't have children the way we do it. Let's see whether having children is one of the most important moments in life. I have a feeling it will be. Yes, of course. Number 1. Yes, having children. Doctors warn women should have a baby by the age of 35 to avoid the risk of being deafened by their ticking biological clock. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get.
You never really forget, like, the day I passed my driving test, probably the most significant. Because then you can go anywhere, can't you? Get the motor running. I mean, it won't surprise anyone to learn that I received a minor on my driving test for excessive caution. That's right, ladies. It really annoyed me. You know you're a fanny when on your driving test the instructor's saying, so when I tap the dashboard, I want you to slow down, but for the rest of the time, can you friggin' strap on a pair and just put your foot down?
I think it's a big time for, you know, teenagers passing their test. I just think it's a very strange thing that we pick that time in life to give kids the opportunity to drive. You know, it's the most sort of hormonally volatile you can be. So are you emotionally insecure and randomly aggressive? Here, have a machine that can kill yourself and others. You know, like,
When can you apply for your provisional licence?
I do drive a car, mate. I drive a Polo 1.2. It's blue.
And you've got a rhyme
take
as well.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
I drive a Ford Fiesta. It's Spanish for party.
I feel completely left out.
Do you drive?
I've never passed my driving test. I took it once and failed it so appallingly badly, I said I'm never, ever going to drive again, and haven't.
I respect you for that. I think if you fail your test 3 times, you should be banned for at least 10 years. People think they have a right to drive, and they're like, well, I'll get there in the end. Well, you're clearly shit at this. You have to be told to stop now. Like, I failed 6 times, but then I passed on the 7th. Well, you're probably still shit.
Do you drive, Sarah?
Yeah, I passed second time. Apparently all the safest drivers are those who passed the second time. But I drove into oncoming traffic in my first one. But I didn't on the second one. But they don't teach you everything that you really need to learn to drive in the lessons, do they? They don't teach you, like, how to balance all your snacks on the passenger seat.
Open the crisps when you're at the services, because it's difficult to open them when you're driving along.
Yeah, but I can't open a bottle between my thighs.
She can.
Really impressive if it's one of those gross bottles. Take my house here for that.
I think there should be different levels of test as well. I think there should be a test that you can drive without the radio on, and then there should be another test where you could drive looking at a text, making a phone call, chatting to your friends, and then there should be a high-level test where you're so good you can have a few drinks. Okay, learning to drive. Let's have a look and see whether it's one of the most important moments in life. Yes, learning to drive. The Institute of Driving Instructors recommend taking 44 lessons before you attempt your test, in much the same way that McVitie's recommend you eat a lot of biscuits. So at the end of that round, Sean, Sarah and Lorraine have 2 points. John, Christian and Tom have 1. So our next round is pick of the polls. John, Christian, Tom, what do you fancy answering on?
Be a shame not to have the man who's ill while we have someone who can help him.
Yes. Most people would rather diagnose themselves on the internet than visit a doctor. Is that true or false?
I think that is definitely true, yeah.
Do people come into the surgery now and go, well, I know you're a doctor, but I'm pretty sure I've read about this, I know exactly what it is?
They bring printouts. Great sheaves of printouts of proof that they've got rare Unga Bunga disease and they know it all about. And
Is there Unga Bunga going round?
Yeah.
The reason I would self-diagnose is because if you think you're ill, a doctor's surgery is going to make you iller, whereas you're not going to catch anything surfing around on the internet. So like, I still don't understand why doctor's surgeries are the way they are. In the way we've evolved, there's still a room where you go, get all the sick people in a small room and leave them there for hours. With heat and nothing to do but cough and phlegm all over everyone.
Yeah, but they've got a yachting magazine for you to protect yourself.
the worst thing is doctors diagnosing themselves. I've done it many times.
Well, how do you mean? What have you thought?
Well, I've nearly killed myself from appendicitis by ignoring it for a week, convincing myself it's just a bit of trap wind, I'll be all right. Until I couldn't walk like this. I had to drag myself to hospital with a galloping peritonitis. So.
That's not great.
Not great.
People still come to see you.
Not a good advert for my senses.
Imagine if it had been trapped wind, though, the relief after a week. It's worth the gamble there, though, isn't it? Just...
Tom, have you ever looked anything up on the internet when you've had a, you know, I know you've just gone through puberty and stuff. So have you looked things up?
Some strange things happening to my body. I'd definitely self-diagnose if I had the choice, because it would scare me if I did come to you, sir, and I had something exciting. You just stick it on the telly for everyone to look at.
Do you now meet patients and you look at it and you go, ooh, do you want to be on telly? That is amazing. That is TV gold, because that is a disgrace. It's like a badger that's been hit with a shotgun, my God.
Can I just say that when I was doing my show, Friday Night Dinner, the show before that was Embarrassing Bodies, right? So it was my first time on telly, and I was really excited, and I get all my friends to gather around and watch it, and if they tuned in 10 minutes early, they were looking at someone's septic bell end. It's like, my grandma ringing up, going, Tom, is that you? No, Grandma, it's not. Give me 10 minutes.
They're going, I know you said you'd be on telly. What is the matter with you?
And I've kind of been blessed as well with the guests today, because Lorraine Kelly as well. Don't know whether you know this at all, but we kind of lived in the same village for like 16 years. Do you know my parents? You know Chrissy and Jim Rosenthal? Do you know them at all? Yeah, they're my mum and dad.
Are you the wee boy? Oh, that's just sweet.
So, like...
Oh, we had cheese and wine bar.
But when I look at you now, you do look like your daddy.
Exactly. Oh, I've got a story as well. My mum told me this. My mum told me this story, that my dad is like, as you can testify, is like a semi-celebrity in his own right. He's like a sports presenter, and they were opening the new post office, Sam and Rhonda's.
Sam and Rhonda's? Absolutely.
You know Sam and Rhonda from the post office.
Anyone know the left?
So it's been happening on the internet.
No, Jim Rosenthal was booked in to open the post office, basically, until Lorraine Kelly became available. So my dad got shafted, sat in the living room going, what has Lorraine Kelly got that I do not?
I imagine he'll recover now, watching his own son on TV going, my dad's a semi-celebrity in his...
That's lovely. Oh, that's really... Isn't he gorgeous? He's really sweet.
Yes, you are. Who's a pretty boy? Yes, you are. OK, so most people would rather diagnose themselves on the internet than visit a doctor.
I like to ask a few people. If you get, like, best of 5, you know, if 3 people think you should go to the doctors out of 5, then you go to the doctors and you just lob it out, get a few people to have a look.
Lob it out?
Yeah. And then,
So,
you know...
yeah, show a few people first. Because you must get annoyed with people going to the doctors that have got nothing as well. You must get annoyed by people turning up and going, have a look at this.
Do you think people turn up and just show up?
Have you got the feeling that anyone's just shown up and gone, have a look at this? Yeah. That is a corker, isn't it? I mean, you don't see many like that, do you? That is perfect. You want to take a picture?
It's happened to a colleague of mine. She had to do an examination on a chap when she was a student, and thought you had to examine the willy when it was hard, not floppy. So it was sort of best said to this man. I don't know who told her this. I think someone had wound her
Whoever
up
did
as a
should get a
gag.
special prize. I just have to examine you here. Not really.
But basically did just that.
What? Had to give it. I just have to wake him up.
And it was an elderly gentleman who was examining.
Who couldn't believe his luck.
Except that it took an awful long time to get there. I think another one of us students possibly had told her that this was the way you examine it.
And did she,
OK, so most people would rather diagnose themselves on the internet than visit a doctor. True or false? What do you think?
True, definitely true.
If the man says true, we go true.
Yeah, OK, what do you think?
I don't know. I think I'd rather see a person. It's like, you know, when you go into supermarkets and they want you to go in that machine with your shopping. I hate that. I like to see a person. I've actually stood in the supermarket and said, can I please see a person? Because I can't get it to work.
Oh, she's saying person.
Person.
Right, we'll go false then.
I don't know.
Go false, OK. So I can tell you the answer is false.
Well
yeah.
done, Lorraine.
66% of people would rather visit a doctor. If I get diagnosed on the internet, I always make sure I get a second opinion from CFAX. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your question. Best way to patronise someone?
Is it to ask them if they know what patronise means?
I always find the words, hey guys, do the trick. Especially on a note. You're leaving a note out, just want to, hey guys. Think it's best we wash our own mugs after...
That is a note that you've written.
Exactly, yeah. It's a note I've written several times because people never learn. Tried physical violence and they move out. If you see anyone moving around with 4 little dots on their head, they've had what I call the fork lesson.
Best way to patronise someone, what do you think? Because people often think doctors are a little bit patronising.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
He nailed that!
You know, in restaurants, they're sommeliers, and it's part of their job is to be patronising. Yeah, well, I think I can recommend probably you might choose or be in your price bracket. This wine, sir. Whenever they do that, I always do the same thing. After they've said, I recommend this wine, I go, thank you very much. And then I go, go on, run along.
Can I ask what a sommelier is? Because they don't have them in Nando's.
Somalian.
I thought you said Somalian at first. I just have pop and that, so that's why that hasn't come up.
Pop.
Pop.
You don't have a pop melier?
Pop belly. No.
Can I suggest the 7-Up with the
the
family bucket?
OK, so best way to patronise someone. I'll give you a clue. It suggests they're stupid.
Talk slowly to them.
Talk slowly is second. It implies you know more than they do.
I know more than you.
No, it's much more on the nose
Right,
rude.
okay.
Go fuck yourself, a-hole. Yeah.
I will tell you. The best way to patronise someone is to say, you wouldn't understand.
Ah, OK.
When you patronise someone, you talk down to them nicely, whereas condescension can be quite rude. You got that, fuckwits? Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are 2 points for Sean's team and 2 points for John's team. Everyone's a winner. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Saturday. That's it from us. Good night.